Hey Landon,
Hey, Tal.
how are you doing, man?
Great, man. I just watched Death of a Salesman. I loved it.
The 1985 adaptation? Me too.
Yes, the one directed by Wojciech Schlendorf. I love his movies and German New Wave as a whole. Did you know he was born in 1939 in Nazi Germany? Most of his career has been a fight for the average person. He's a critic of corrupt systems and the oppression of man, as evidenced by his groundbreaking 1980 film, The Tin Drum. It's very fitting that he directed Death of a Salesman. Anyway, what did you think about the movie? Did it match your expectations from what we read in class? Did it help you envision the play in a new way?
It did. I liked a lot of it. Regarding the production, the movie felt very theatrical in its presentation. At multiple instances, the direction had simply chosen to put wallpapers as the background to make it look more play-like. For instance, the ending was clearly backdropped by a wallpaper of the New York skyline. The settings give an artificial environment for the characters to recreate the same feeling one would have in the theater. The movie did not try to be more than the actual play, it simply manifested what was originally written by Arthur Miller. To a certain extent, give or take a few lines, the movie contains the exact same dialogue as what is written in the play. This is definitely something good, as Arthur Miller took great pains in writing exactly what was needed in terms of stage directions. Even the introductory flutes are there. I found this homage to theater very interesting. There are scenes that explicitly show the set and reveal that there is no roof, which emphasis on the idea that the viewer is not watching the movie but rather a play. The mix, however, is a bit distracting at times. It was difficult to understand what was being said by Willie. For instance, when Willie talks to himself, it is hard to
Be
understand what he
careful with
mumbles.
those girls, Biff. That's all. Don't make any promises. No promises of any kind.
In the book, it's simple, it's just reading. Although, this could play in the fact that what Willie is saying is not really important in the first place.
I agree. I really liked what was shown on screen, though. Distinctly German, the cinematography and lighting is incredibly beautiful. From the long takes with revolving cameras and the noticeably Paris, Texas-esque scenes, everything visual is perfectly executed. Harsh green or blue bulbs accompanied by deep shadows are used to delineate reality in all of its harshness. We're often up and personal in Willie or Biff's faces, forcing us to ask the same existential questions that they're asking themselves. When an argument strikes, the cuts are few and far between, making us feel every excruciating second. Yet when we're brought back to reality, Loman is small, both narratively and on our screen. It feels perverse watching this man be delusional. It's as if we, the audience, enable his behavior.
Was nominated. Your father came to me. I'm talking about your father. There were promises made across this desk. You mustn't tell me that you got people to see.
The possibilities of cinema are completely maximized in the visual department.
The costumes were great and fun and never over the top. It's also clear that Willie's actor is wearing makeup to look old, as he has painted hair and glued on eyebrows. This is another reference to the theater, but it also plays into the theme of deception. In terms of performance, the actors managed to deliver the lines with chaos, overlap, and great energy, and it made the movie very captivating. Sequences with slower pacing felt as intriguing as in the original play. What did you think about the characters, Landon?
When it comes to the actors, the titular merchant is played by none other than the master, Dustin Hoffman. As shown by his performances in Rain Man, The Merowitz Stories, and my personal favorite, Midnight Cowboy.
Middleman. And that's where old Daniel comes in, you know what I mean?
I'm walking here. I'm walking here.
It's clear that Hoffman is exceptionally good at playing vulnerable and othered characters. In Schlendorf's rendition, Hoffman kills it. His energy forces us to sympathize with him, whether it be when he gets distracted by his dead big brother during a game of cards.
What do you mean, who died?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
William, it's 8:30.
That's my bill.
No. I put the
If
ace.
you don't know how to play the game, I'm not.
My ace, for God's sakes.
Or when he's yelling at his wife, trying to help his son.
It's not what you say, but how you say it. Because personality always wins the day.
Oliver always thought the highest.
Will you let me talk?
Dad, stop yelling at
The most heart-wrenching face the actor pulls is one of hope. As perfectly surmised by his last scene in the movie, Hoffman's performance compounds the theming of the inevitable and recurring failure of the American dream.
He likes me.
He loves you, Willie.
Always did, Pop. Oh, Biffy. He cried to me.
Oh, that boy is going to be magnificent.
His portrayal of Willie Loman, defeated posture and all, spotlights how pitiful Miller examined the working class to be.
Selecting John Malkovich to play Biff in terms of physicality might have been the most questionable choice in the casting. Given that Biff is supposed to be a football star and a man of muscle, John Malkovich is noticeably lacking in size. However, despite him being an up-and-coming actor, Malkovich's performance is insanely
in
real.
my hand today, and suddenly I stopped. Do you hear me? And in the middle of that office building, do you hear this? I stopped in the middle of the building, and I saw the sky. And I saw the things that I love in this world, the work and the food and the time to sit and smoke. And I looked at the pen in my hand and I said, what the hell am I grabbing this for?
We can feel how doubtful and insecure Biff is when he stumbles upon his words. John imparts an incredible amount of awareness and emotional intelligence into the character. Although this may have made him feel a little more likable than in the original play, it does not interfere negatively with Miller's intended message. Aside from his physical profile, John Malkovich nails the intensity of Biff and perfectly illustrates the psyche of this confused character.
Of course, I have to say I loved Kate Reid's interpretation of Linda Lohman as well. The honesty and pain in her performance definitely inspired other maternal characters, such as the one in Michael Haneke's La Pianiste. Reid's background in theater definitely shows, yet she is able to bring as much nuance as the other seasoned film veterans. In this scene, Reid perfectly depicts the loving and caring side of Linda as well as her harbored discontentment.
Where were you?
We met two girls, Mom. Very fine types. Here, brought you some flowers. Put them in your room. What did you do that for? I want you to have some flowers.
Don't you care whether he lives or dies?
Biff, let's go up.
Go away from me.
The remainder of the supporting cast were also very fitting for this movie. Happy, Charlie, Ben were all perfectly embodied in their own rights. One interesting character was Bernard, Biff's nerdy and neighborly tutor-turned-lawyer. In a way that is typical, Willie's Reverie portrays Bernard as a caricature of a good student, four-eyed and lanky. Then, when we see Charlie in his office, the lawyer looks suave and clean, a Clark Kent of sorts. This is both visually entertaining and pertinent to Willie's imagination. The casting of Willie's mistress can be seen as a little Easter egg. The actress playing that woman resembles a lot Marilyn Monroe, which on one part illustrates the beauty standards of that time, but also refers to Arthur Miller's former relation, as he was married to this supermodel.
My favorite moment relates to that. There's a sequence in which, in Miss Reverie, Willie looks into the mirror and talks in a very self-deprecating manner. His wife attempts to cheer him up from the kitchen, but it's clear that he's down. Then, he sees his old mistress in the mirror. He enters a reflection and reminisces. Afterwards, he comes out yelling at his wife. Bernard runs in and brings up Biff's scholarly failures, and everything wrong with Willie's life comes to light. His nostalgic dreaming turns into a nightmare.
It's a state exam. They're liable to arrest me.
Biff, where is he? Where is he?
You better get back that football, Willie. It's not nice.
Biff, where is he? Why is he taking
And
us?
he's too rough with the girl.
I'll whip him.
He's driving the car without a license. Where is he?
Shut up.
Willie.
Birnbaum says he's
Get
stuck.
out of here.
If he doesn't buckle down, he'll flunk math.
Right, Willie. You gotta do something about that boy.
There's nothing the matter with them. You want him to be a woman?
Then,
like,
we cut back to Willie, blue and lonely, lost in his kitchen.
Personality, he's loaded with it. Loaded. What is he stealing? He's giving it back, isn't he? Why is he stealing? What did I tell him? I never in my life told him anything but Deaton.
Come on up, Pop.
Huh?
Let's go up, huh?
This moment, shown in film, is incredibly imaginative. I love the dream inception and the nightmarish aspect of it. This scene helped me realize how troubled Willie was. There is also an element of relatability. Everyone is guilty, in one form or another, of repressing the negative. When it comes back to bite us, as it does to Willie, it's devastating. Schlendorf shows this anxiety perfectly. This scene is also what made me fall in love with the film. This movie is incredibly artful and appreciative. It wholeheartedly respects and matches Miller's passion for the subject and characters. Furthermore, it's a fun watch and stands the test of time. Although the original play is great on its own, Schlendorf's rendition, especially due to its visual element, is amazing as well.
Thanks for talking about this with me, man. It was really an interesting conversation.
No problem. Thanks to you too. I wish we would have recorded our last in-depth chat revolving around deception, Much Ado About Nothing.
More and more I think of those days, Tal. That time of year, it was Claudio and Hero, and then Don John came. Why did he do that? It's because he's lazy. That's what's ruining this country. Competition is maddening. How can they whip cheese?